If you were to choose between a super macho body or $1 million, I'd bet 9 out of 10 of you will choose the money. Muscles are good and all, but you can't beat the luxury and comfort that wealth can bring. Well, it seems that Subaru followed the same logic when it comes to the 2022 Subaru Outback. You see, it lost the old yet powerful Boxer 6 engine but gained the wealth of features. So the question is, are more tech and safety enough to compensate for its smaller engine? Well, it's time for us to find out. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Reagan and welcome back to another car review. If you're new to my channel, I hope you click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Philippine automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show after you click that like button. Also, special thanks to Motor Image Filipinas for graciously lending us the 2022 Subaru Outback to do this review. So what we have here is the 6th generation Subaru Outback, which is an all-new model from the previous generation. Now the good news here is this all-new Outback has a more affordable retail price than the 5th generation Subaru Outback, which sold for over 2,400,000 Philippine pesos. The 6th generation 2022 Subaru Outback now has a retail price of only 2,380,000 Philippine pesos, which puts it closer to its other premium all-wheel drive rivals. Now that price is also more affordable than most four-wheel drive pickup-based SUVs. However, we have to consider that technically the Outback is not an SUV. It's a lifted wagon capable of going over land, yet still has the same performance of a sedan on the tarmac. It basically marries the benefits of an SUV with a sedan. Now the rugged nature of the Subaru Outback can easily be seen at first glance. You get huge black plastic claddings here on the front bumper that helps protect the paint from the bush. Now most of you guys know my dislike of huge plastic claddings on a car, but on the Subaru Outback, it just looks so visually appealing to me. Because this, my friends, is a vehicle with a purpose. Now speaking of purpose, well, we also get fully adaptive LED headlights here, LED DRLs, and of course the headlight washers that can be found here in case you go off on a muddy trail. Now we also have a pair of LED fog lights down there to complete the lighting duties. Now overall guys, when you look at the front fascia of the Subaru Outback, it has a good cohesive design and looks so much better than the outgoing model. In fact, it looks slim, sleek, and it looks so much better than even the current generation Subaru Forester. When viewed from the side, the Outback looks low and sleek, but at the same time rugged and capable. The plastic claddings continue on here, but these are not your token plastic claddings to make the car look tough. Rather, these black plastic claddings look so tough that they can take a beating and just brush it off. Now, speaking of tough guys, check out the roof rails. Man, these roof rails look so tough and heavy duty that I believe they could even carry a Subaru XV if it's needed. Now, when you look at the side mirrors, we get power folding side mirrors here with LED turn signals, and the side mirror housing is similar to the one we found in the Subaru Evoltis. Now the wheel wells continue with a large plastic cladding program here, and this is good for better protection. But when you look inside the wheel wells, we get 18-inch alloys that are wrapped in 225/60 R18 tires. Behind these wheels, we get four-wheel disc brakes, and for your suspension, we have a MacPherson setup in the front and a double wishbone setup at the back. Now the ground clearance of this thing will beat most crossovers out there, despite being just a lifted wagon. The Outback gets 213 millimeters of ground clearance, which is perfect for the off-road trail or even the occasional Manila flood. The Outback gets a sexier rear end, mainly due to these redesigned LED taillights that we have here. These crab claw design taillights have been made slimmer, sleeker, and now has a clear housing, making this rear end look more sculpted and, as I mentioned, sexier. Now the plastic claddings continue on here at the back. In fact, the rear bumpers are practically all black plastic claddings except for that rear skid plate that we also have here. Now the Outback also gets a couple of LED rear fog lights plus a smart power liftgate, which means that if you have the key fob on you, all you have to do is come close to the rear end of this thing, hover your hand over the Subaru logo, and the smart power liftgate automatically opens for you. Now that we have this thing open, we have 537 liters of cargo capacity here, which is enough for a couple of medium-sized luggage. And if you need more space than that, you could always fold the back seats flat, which effectively doubles your cargo capacity. Now, since the Outback is marketed as an overlander, we get the necessities here at the back for overlanding duties, such as a 12-volt power outlet, a donut spare tire, and of course, those one-touch, easy-to-fold back seats, which will increase your cargo capacity in case you decide to carry your Subaru XV inside the Outback instead of on the roof. The sole variant of the Outback in the country gets a 2.5-liter, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated boxer engine that puts out 185 horsepower and 245 Newton-meters of torque. Now, the power is sent to all four wheels via Subaru's Lineartronic CVT. Now, I know we lost some horses in this new engine versus the older Boxer 6, but we did gain in the fuel economy department. You see, when I took it out in the city run, I was able to get 8 kilometers per liter in the city, and on a highway blast, I was able to get 20 kilometers per liter. Now that is superb for an all-wheel drive vehicle, and especially since I didn't even activate the engine start-stop system, which this thing is equipped with, and I also drove like how I normally drive. The Outback follows in the same premium cabin design as the other Subarus, but this all-new 6th generation Outback takes it several notches further. You see, we get leather seats here, but the leather is premium Nappa leather, and we get power adjustments both for the driver and the front passenger. Now, the steering wheel is naturally wrapped in leather, and we get a plethora of buttons here, which might overwhelm the newbie Subaru driver, but if you've been driving Subarus in the past, well, this is pretty much par for the course for you. We get buttons here for your adaptive cruise control, and we also have a button for your lane centering function. There's also a couple of buttons here for your sport and intelligent drive modes, and hands-free buttons for connectivity, plus some more buttons under the steering wheel to control your multi-information display. Now we also get a couple of paddle shifters here, which just like any other Subaru is pretty quick and responsive despite just driving a Lineartronic CVT. Now this steering wheel also adjusts for tilt, and it also telescopes, as expected, well, from a premium offering. Now when you look at the instrument gauge cluster of the new Outback, you'll see that it's still a combination of analog and digital, but we already lost the multi-information display that's found right here in the center of the dashboard. You see, Subaru baked that into the multi-information display here in the instrument gauge cluster so that it will go for a cleaner and more decluttered look. Now, speaking of decluttered and clean look, check out the infotainment system on this thing. The 6th generation Outback gets an 11.6-inch iPad-style infotainment system that is, wow, it will really shock and awe you guys. I mean, yeah, this thing is fantastic. I love the resolution. It's in full HD, and of course it has Apple CarPlay, it has Android Auto, but you know, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will be put to shame when you look at the interface of this thing. I mean, this is phenomenal, guys. Now, of course, we also get a reverse camera here, but we don't really get a 360-degree view camera. Rather, we just have a camera for the front and the back and the blind spot side towards the right of the car. So could have been simpler if Subaru just put a 360-degree view camera here and just called it a day. Now, the thing about this infotainment system, actually I don't even want to call it an infotainment system anymore. This feels more like the vehicle command center because even your vehicle settings are already baked into the system. Now, the thing about this is it also houses your climate control system. So yeah, I'm all for technology and high-tech stuff like this, but stuff like the climate control baked into this command center here might present some issues moving forward in the future. But then of course this is Subaru, so I'm pretty sure the folks back in Subaru has already tested this thing to make sure that it will be completely robust and will last the test of time. Now, my problem in fact with this is there are some functions that is a one-step process but has also been incorporated into this thing. Like for example, the auto brake hold feature. You see the Outback gets an electronic park brake button here, but you don't get the auto brake hold button. The thing is, it's been already put inside the system, so instead of just pressing a button and your vehicle will just auto hold itself, well, you just have to go to settings and then you have to go to this car icon, and that's where you will activate or deactivate the auto vehicle hold feature. So what used to be a one-step process became a multi-step process. So yeah, if they're going after something simple and cleaner, it doesn't really sound too simple to me anymore. Now, the good thing though is, of course, this infotainment system powers an 11-speaker Harman Kardon sound setup with an amplifier and a subwoofer, so the sound stage of this Outback would be pretty phenomenal. Of course, I couldn't really play sample music for you guys because of YouTube copyrights. Now, we also have a couple of cup holders here which we will subject to the Clean Canteen test. The thing is, Outback is a global model, so I'm pretty sure it will pass, yeah, easily. It passes my Clean Canteen, as you can see, quite well. Now, we also have a center armrest here that's leather wrapped. That is pretty much par for the course, but this center armrest houses an Easter egg. You see, the Outback, when you pop it open, for all of its high-tech features and this massive iPad-style command center right there in the center, well, when you open the open the center armrest, you'll see that you still get a DVD tray. There's a DVD tray here, guys. So again, kids, if you don't know what a DVD is, well, go ask your parents. I'm pretty sure they know. Now, guys, check out this cabin. I mean, wow, look at this. The dashboard is wrapped in premium Nappa leather. Even the door cards also have a premium Nappa leather here. And we have Subaru's signature method of incorporating different textures and designs and lines inside this premium cabin to give you that upscale feeling. So even if this Outback is designed to go out back, well, the passengers inside will be feeling all premium and luxury inside this cabin. The Outback is sold worldwide, hence the back seat can easily accommodate larger people. I'm 5'6", guys, and this is my driving position, and I've got a whopping 8 inches of knee room here and a good, wow, around 7 inches of headroom. Now, 3 full-size adults can fit comfortably here, even if we have a little bit of a center tunnel in the middle for that all-wheel drive system. Now, the Outback doesn't get the large squarish windows that we saw in the Subaru Forester, but the fact that we have a regular sunroof up front means that we get more natural light here at the back and improves further on its atmosphere. Now, the Outback also gets a good plethora of toys here at the back. We got a couple of rear AC vents here, a couple of USB charging ports, a center armrest that also has a couple of cup holders, and even a couple of dome lights right there up top. Now, the seat back of the back seat can also adjust a little bit. As you can see, I'm adjusting it, which should further enhance on your riding comfort. The all-new Subaru Outback has tons of features that blows my mind. The fact that we get more safety and tech features in this car at an affordable price makes it a solid contender already in the premium 5-seater all-wheel drive crossover category. But how does it drive? What sort of safety features am I even talking about? Well, guys, this video is already more than 10 minutes long, so we'll have to switch to my next video to see my drive impressions of the all-new Subaru Outback. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.